In the Elder Scrolls series, your journey begins as a nameless prisoner, whether on a cart in Skyrim or in a jail cell in Oblivion. This deliberate lack of backstory isn't an oversight, it's the game's way of making you a blank slate. The protagonist has no predefined personality, moral compass, or even a fixed appearance. You're not a character, you're a vessel for the player's choices, shaped entirely by the world around you. This design philosophy ensures that every decision, from joining factions to mastering skills, feels like your own. But at what cost? The world reacts to your actions, yet the protagonist remains eerily silent, a tool rather than a true hero. The games tease a grand destiny for your character, Dragonborn in Skyrim, Nerevarine in Morrowind, yet these titles are hollow. The Greybeards or the Blades don't care who you are, they need a pawn to fulfill a prophecy. Even the lore hints that you might be a pretender, merely fitting the role. Compare this to traditional RPG heroes like Geralt, whose past and personality shape the story. Here, your destiny is just a label slapped onto a blank canvas. The factions mold you into what they need, not who you could be. You're not the chosen one, you're a convenient placeholder. Join the Dark Brotherhood or the Thieves Guild, and you'll notice a pattern. The protagonist is a replaceable grunt. The quests demand obedience, not moral reflection. Even when you rise to leadership, your title, like Guildmaster, grants no real authority. The factions praise your usefulness, never your identity. In Oblivion, the Dark Brotherhood's Lucian Lachance calls you a tool of the Night Mother, stripping away any pretense of agency. The world doesn't need a hero, it needs a silent enforcer. Your actions shape the world, but the protagonist remains a ghost, unseen, unheard, and ultimately forgotten. Character creation and roleplay exist to patch the protagonist's void. Games like Skyrim ask, who do you want to be? But the world rarely acknowledges your choices. You might craft a backstory or adopt a moral code, yet NPCs still address you as Dragonborn or outsider. The identity you build is cosmetic, like a mask worn in an empty room. Even romance options feel transactional, with no depth beyond scripted lines. The games encourage projection, but the protagonist remains a shadow, a silhouette for the player to fill, not a person the world remembers. By the end of each game, the protagonist vanishes. Oblivion's hero of Kvatch becomes a myth. Skyrim's Dragonborn fades into obscurity. This isn't an oversight, it's the point. The Elder Scrolls prioritizes player freedom over narrative depth, offering a world to explore, but no hero to remember. The trade-off is clear. Boundless choice comes at the cost of emotional connection. You're free to be anyone, but the protagonist is no one, a tool, used and discarded. Was this design liberating or limiting? The answer depends on whether you valued the world's stories or your own place within them.